by 2 whole power 6 is nothing but 1 by 64. 1 by 64 into 5, 5 by 64 meter is the answer. In same problem, calculate the total height. In the same problem, calculate the total height. Calculate the total height after third rebounds. Sir, in first case we calculated, listen, gavninga, third rebounds complete ஆன உடனே என்ன height travel பண்ணும் அதை தான் calculate பண்ணிருக்கோம். That is called as H3. This is called as H3. இப்போ question என்ன கேக்குறாங்கன்னா, what is the total height traveled after completion of third rebounds? அப்ப third rebounds complete ஆகறப்ப total height கேட்டா என்ன வருமா? H0 plus 2H1 plus 2H2 plus 2H3. So அது எல்லாத்தையும் sum பண்ணோம்னா we can get total height. அதான் shortcut formula என்ன இருக்குப்பா? Total height traveled after n rebounds is equal to H0 into 1 plus E square by 1 minus E square, where H0 is nothing but 5. 1 plus E square value is 0.5, 0.5 the whole square, 0.25, and 1 minus E square, 1 minus 0.25. So answer is 5 into 1.25 by 0.75. By cancelling these two, 5 by 3 will come. So 25 by 3. So 25 by 3 means approximately 8.33 will come. So this is nothing but total height traveled after 3 rebounds. Write it clearly. In the H3 என்னதுனா height traveled after third rebounds. In the H3 என்னதுனா total height traveled after 3 rebounds. Again continue. In above problem, find the velocity after third rebounds. In above problem, find the velocity after third rebounds. In above problem, find the velocity after third rebounds. So how will you calculate velocity of the ball after particular rebounds? V base n is equal to E power n into V naught. How will you calculate V naught? V naught formula root over 2G H naught. E value is given 0.5. The number of rebounds is 3. Again 0.5 is nothing but 1 by 2. Root over G value we can consider as 10. H naught value is given as 5. So 2 into 5 10. 10 into 10 100. Root 100 10. 1 by 2 the whole cube 1 by 8. So answer is 10 by 8. 10 by 8 means 5 by 4. 5 by 4 means 1.25 meter per second. This is nothing but velocity of the ball after third rebounds. Velocity of the ball after third rebounds. Again continue in same problem. Find the time taken to produce third rebounds. Not third rebounds, 3 rebounds. Small correction. Find the time taken to produce 3 rebounds. Find the time taken to produce 3 rebounds. So what is the equation to calculate the time taken to produce n number of rebounds? Tn is equal to T naught into 1 plus E by 1 minus E. How will you calculate T naught? What is T naught? Time taken to reach the ground at initially. Beginning la the height la irundhu ground reach பண்றதுக்கு எவ்வளவு டைம் எடுக்குதோ that is called as T naught. How will you calculate the T naught? T naught formula root over 2 H naught by G 1 plus E by 1 minus E. Again this is nothing but total time taken to produce n number of rebounds. இந்த क्वेश्चनல என்ன ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணிருக்கேன்? Total time taken to produce 3 rebounds, not third rebounds. Total time taken to produce 3 rebounds. So T base 3 is equal to root over 2. Again H naught value 5, G value is 10, 1 plus E value is 0.5. So 1 plus 0.5, 1.5, 1 minus E 0.5. Again these two value gets cancelled. 10 by 10 1, 1.5 by 0.5 means 3. So time taken to produce 3 rebounds is nothing but 3 seconds. See இது வந்து third bounce create பண்றதுக்கு எடுக்கிற டைம் இல்ல, ஓவராலா 3 bounce ஃபார்ம் பண்றதுக்கு என்ன டைம்னு கேட்டா தான் இந்த ஈக்குவேஷன். ஓகேவா? So beginningல இருந்து listen a minute. From the top of the wall to ground, first rebounds process completed, second rebounds process completed, third rebounds process complete agana, how much time totally will be taken? The total time taken can be calculated by the formula Tn is equal to T naught 1 plus E by 1 minus C. So write the answer. எதுக்குள்ள சார்? இது வரைக்கும் போதும். Right, the next problem. Find the velocity ratio. Find the velocity ratio after collision of two balls. Find the velocity ratio after collision of two balls as shown in figure. Find the velocity ratio of two balls find the velocity ratio of two balls after collision as shown in figure in terms of coefficient of restitution. In terms of coefficient of restitution. Okay, now listen. So here I have considered two balls with equal masses. Listen a minute. So two balls with equal masses. The first ball alone moving with velocity u1, that is equal to v, and the second ball initially available at rest condition. Now these two balls are going to collide. So after collision, these two balls are going to move with a speed of v1 and v2. Now they are asking the velocity ratio v1 by v2 in terms of coefficient of restitution E. So immediately on our mind line now, sir, you only said if two balls with equal masses they are going to collide means definitely velocity will be exchange. Our velocity exchange aguna initially inge enna velocity irukku v inge 0. Appo final inge enna varumba v1 enna varum 0, v2 enna think பண்ணுவா இதோட velocity அப்படியே இங்க வந்துரும், இதோட velocity அப்படியே இங்க ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆயிடும். உடனே ஆன்சர் 0 னு மார்க் பண்ணுவா, 0 ஆப்ஷன் இருக்கும். Everything applicable in the case of perfectly elastic collision. But here the condition perfectly elastic collision is not given. Perfectly elastic collision எதுமே கொடுக்கல. ஓகேவா? அப்ப நீங்க டைரக்ட்டா இந்த மாதிரி கான்செப்ட் யூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. If perfectly elastic collision given means answer is 0. ஏனா equal mass இருக்கப்ப velocity என்ன ஆகுமா? Redistribute ஆகும். But the condition that perfectly elastic collision is not given. So இந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன்ல என்ன பண்றது? We have to identify the v1 by v2 value in terms of coefficient of restitution E. So now I am going to calculate, I am going to use law of conservation of momentum before collision and after collision. Tell me before collision what about the momentum? M into V, and this system momentum is 0. After collision, mass on the first system is m and its velocity is v1. Mass on the second system is m and its velocity is v2. Now everywhere mass is common so that they get cancelled. So we can say v is equal to v1 plus v2. We can consider this equation as 1. A small correction. The initial velocity on the first ball is given as u. U na assume panikonga. So here u will come. Here also u will come. Now I am going to use coefficient of restitution definition. You know very well coefficient of restitution definition. E is equal to v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. What about the u1 value? U. u2 value 0. v2 value v2. v1 is v1. So this is becomes v2 minus v1 by u. By doing the cross multiplication we can say EU is equal to v2 minus v1. Assume this equation as 2. Now I am going to solve these two equations to obtain the v1 by v2 ratio. So first step la enna use pannirukeenba? Law of conservation of momentum. This part is nothing but total momentum before collision or after collision. Total momentum before collision. And this part is nothing but total momentum after collision. Total momentum after collision. So in second part I have used which concept? Coefficient of restitution definition concept. I use I have framed the second equation. Okay, now solving these two equations. By adding these two equations we can get one equation. By subtracting these two equations we will get another equation. So first add pannalama. Add 1 and 2. In the rendu equation add pannunga, what will come? 1 plus 2 what will come by adding these two? U is common, so remaining 1 plus E, am I right or not? And add these two equation, plus V1 minus V1, cancel, V2 plus V2, 2V2. We need V1 by V2 லையா, அப்ப V2 மட்டும் retain பண்ணுங்க, what will come? V2 is equal to U by 2, 1 plus C. Similarly, by subtracting 1 and 2, 1 and 2 subtract பண்ணலாம். By subtracting 1 and 2 we can get, subtract பண்ணுங்க, what answer will come? So subtract equation 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 பண்ணோம்னா என்ன வரும்பா? U is common. U common na remaining term 1 minus E, and இந்த side subtract பண்றப்ப this equation minus this, அப்ப இங்க ஒரு extra minus வரும், இங்க plus ஆயிருமா? So minus V2 plus V2 cancel, V1 plus V1, that is equal to 2V1. Tell me what about the V1 final answer? U into 1 minus C by 2. Now we need V1 by V2 ratio. So here we are having V2 value, here we are having V1 equation. ரெண்டையும் divide பண்றப்ப which thing gets cancelled? U by 2, U by 2 gets cancelled. So the remaining answer 1 minus C by 1 plus C. This is nothing but velocity ratio of the two objects after collision in terms of coefficient of restitution. எழுதிக்கோங்கம்மா. The question is, find the velocity of two objects, find the ratio of velocity of two objects after collision as shown in figure in terms of coefficient of restitution. Kapida. Next topic. Copy it up. Next title, collision between block and pendulum bob. Collision between block and pendulum bob. Okay, you know very well what is pendulum. Pendulum is nothing but an arrangement in which a rigid support will be there. With the rigid support we will extend a string or thread. At the end of the thread we will place an iron ball whose mass is called as M, and this is called as bob. Idoda name da enaduma bob. Now the bob is going to be hit by a bullet. So this is nothing but a bullet, and its initial velocity is nothing but u. In the bullet oda mass enna paathomna small m, bob oda mass capital M. So bob mass is capital M, bullet mass is small m. Now the bullet is going to hit the bob so that its system will move together with a velocity that is called as v. So what is v? Velocity of combined system. Combined system na edhu seindhupa bullet plus bob. ஒரு ஸ்டேஜ்ல என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா அந்த புல்லட் எதுல போய் ஹிட் ஆயிடுதான், பாப்ல போய் ஹிட் ஆயிட்டு they are going to produce perfect inelastic collision. Perfect inelastic collision என்னதுப்பா? Perfect inelastic collision. So what is perfect inelastic collision? After collision both system will move together. இப்போ இந்த புல்லட் வந்து இந்த பாப்ல போய் ஹிட் ஆகுறப்ப ஹிட் ஆயிட்டு நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன ஆகுமாமா? ரெண்டுமே சேர்ந்தே மூவ் ஆகும். So now we are having bob plus bullet Okay, initially bullet alone moving with velocity of u, the initial point is taken as A. The point A nu choose பண்ணிக்கோங்க. Bullet name எல்லாம் எடுத்துருங்க. Bullet ஓட mass என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம்னா m, bullet velocity is u, and this point is called as initial point. இந்த bullet எதோட போய் embed ஆக போகுதுமா? Embedனா அதுல போய் stick ஆக போகுது. So bomb ஓட போய் stick ஆக போகுதுனா after embedding process, that means embed ஆக போகுதுனா definitely என்ன process? Perfectly inelastic collision. அப்ப perfectly inelastic collisionல கண்டிப்பா ரெண்டு சிஸ்டமே சேர்ந்தே மூவ் ஆகும். அப்ப இந்த காம்பினேஷன் process எந்த பாயிண்ட்ல நடக்குதுன்னா B பாயிண்ட். சோ at point B ல என்ன நடக்குதுமா? collision. சோ கொலைட் ஆன உடனே இந்த பாபும் புல்லட்டும் சேர்ந்தே இப்ப என்ன ஆகுறான்? டிஸ்பிளேஸ் ஆகுறான். அப்படி டிஸ்பிளேஸ் ஆகுறப்ப இது எவ்வளவு ஆங்கிள் கிரியேட் ஆகுதுன்னா தீட்டா. What is theta? Angle suspended by the pendulum thread. இந்த பெண்டுலத்தோட thread இல்லனா string கிரியேட் பண்ற ஆங்கிள் என்னதுமா? theta. You know very well இந்த சிஸ்டத்தோட ஓவரால் மாஸ் இந்த இடத்துல பிகினிங்ல இருக்குனா இப்போ இதே சிஸ்டத்தோட மாஸ் இங்க மூவ் ஆயிருக்கும். அப்ப இந்த பாயிண்ட்க்கு பேர் என்ன சொல்வாங்கன்னா சென்டர் ஆஃப் மாஸ். வாட் இஸ் சென்டர் ஆஃப் மாஸ்? பாயிண்ட் where the entire mass will appear. ஒரு சிஸ்டத்தோட என்டையர் மாஸ் எங்க ஃபோக்கஸ் ஆகுதோ அந்த பாயிண்ட்க்கு பேர் என்னதுமா? சென்டர் ஆஃப் மாஸ். யூசுவலா வந்து ஒரு யூனிஃபார்ம் ஷேப்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டுக்கு சென்டர் ஆஃப் மாஸ் எங்க இருக்குமா? ஜியோமெட்ரிக்கல் சென்டர். அப்ப இது ஒரு ஸ்பெரிக்கல் பாப்னு எடுத்தோம்னா கண்டிப்பா இங்க தான் இருக்கும். இப்போ இங்க இருக்க வேண்டிய சென்டர் ஆஃப் மாஸ் இங்க ஷிஃப்ட் ஆயிருக்குனா tell me how much height is displaced by this center of mass. இங்க இருக்க வேண்டிய சென்டர் ஆஃப் மாஸ் இங்க டிஸ்ப்ளேஸ் ஆயிருக்குனா அப்ப இந்த லெவல்ல இருந்து எவ்வளவு ஹைட் மார்க் கிராஸ் ஆயிருக்கு? h. What is h? Vertical height traveled by center of mass. Tell me what about L? L னா என்னதுப்பா? Length of the pendulum. Length of the string or length of the pendulum எங்க இருந்து மார்க் பண்ணணுமா? From rigid support to center of mass. Now tell me what about this length? இந்த length என்ன வரும்பா? Same L. இதுவும் length of the pendulum தான். இதுவும் என்னடா? Length of the pendulum தான். Tell me what is h? Height traveled, vertical height traveled by center of mass. by extending the center of mass line here, what about this height? In the height edukku equal ma? This is L, in which this part is H na, appo இந்த part என்ன வரும்பா? L minus H. Now first obtain a relationship between this theta, L and the H. The L, H, theta, இது மூணையும் link பண்ணா we can use this right angle triangle. In this right angle triangle we can say cos theta is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. Theta ki இது என்ன சைடுமா? Opposite, and this one adjacent. Adjacent length is L minus H. Hypotenuse L. By doing the cross multiplication we can say L cos theta is equal to L minus H. By taking the H value this side, H is equal to L minus L cos theta, or by taking the L value as a common we can say L into 1 minus cos theta is nothing but H. First tell me what is H? Vertical height traveled by the combined system. Combined system na idella சேர்ந்துப்பா bob plus bullet. Bob plus bullet தான் combined system. After embedding process அது ரெண்டுமே சேர்ந்து எவ்வளவு height travel ஆகும்னா H height. Then H can be calculated by the formula L into 1 minus cos theta. What is L? Length of the pendulum, theta. Angle suspended by the pendulum string. Okay va? Now I am going to calculate the initial velocity U. Can you say what is U? Initial velocity of the bullet. What is V? Combined initial velocity. What is U? Initial velocity of the bullet alone. What is V? Initial combined velocity. Initial combined velocity. If the initial combined velocity, initial bullet velocity, everything will be calculated at the same time. In the bob, the bullet or embed iron, embed height, it will move up to a height. In the height நம்ம என்னன்னு பிக் பண்ண போறோம்னா maximum height. அப்ப maximum height travel பண்ணதுனா டெஃபினட்டா இதோட ஸ்பீட் என்ன ஆயிட்டே வருமா? ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட் டவுன்ல இருந்து கிரவுண்ட்ல இருந்து அப்படா த்ரோ பண்றோம். டெஃபினட்டா பாட்டம் பாயிண்ட்ல அதோட வெலாசிட்டி எப்படி இருக்கும்? மேக்ஸிமம். மேல மூவ் ஆக அதோட வெலாசிட்டி என்ன ஆகுமா? டிக்ரீஸ் ஆகும். மேக்ஸிமம் ஹைட்டை ரீச் பண்ண உடனே அதோட வெலாசிட்டி 0 ரீச் பண்ணும். Similarly, here initial embedded velocity is V. இந்த V ஸ்பீடை யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இந்த கம்பைன்ட் சிஸ்டம் என்ன ஆகுமா? அப்படா மூவ் ஆகுமா? அப்படா மூவ் ஆகுறப்ப என்ன ஆகுமா? Its velocity slowly decreases. அப்ப velocity slowly decreases na, when it is reaches maximum height, what about its velocity? 0. அப்ப h என்ற height reach பண்றப்ப இந்த point ஓட final velocity 0. Now we are going to apply law of conservation of momentum because of any kind of collision obeys law of conservation of momentum. Okay, apply law of conservation of momentum, LOCM rule, between the point A and B. A point க்கும் B point க்கு LOCM rule apply பண்ணுங்க. What will come? இங்க என்ன momentum இருக்குமா? A pointல என்ன momentum? Mass M, velocity U, mu. B point momentum M plus small m into V, from which we can say V is equal to mu by m plus m. Can you say what is V? Initial velocity of combined system. V is called as initial velocity of combined system. Initial velocity of combined system. What is U? Initial velocity of bullet. Further I am going to calculate the H value using law of conservation of energy. Initial velocity of bullet. Now I am going to calculate the value of H using law of conservation of energy. So law of conservation of energy எங்க apply பண்ணலாம் அப்படினு பாப்போமா? I am going to use law of conservation of energy between the point B and C. This point is called as C. Okay வா? இந்த பாயிண்ட்க்கு அப்ளை பண்ணலாமா? இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல என்ன எனர்ஜி இருக்குமா? First of all, இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல combined system bullet system point B ல combined system available at the ground level system possess zero potential energy. ground level இருக்கக்கூடிய எல்லா சிஸ்டத்துக்குமே potential energy 0. அப்ப இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல என்ன எனர்ஜி மட்டும் இருக்குமா? kinetic energy, because of the system possess some velocity. அப்ப இந்த இடத்துல இனிஷியலா பாயிண்ட் B ல என்ன எனர்ஜி இருக்கும்பா? kinetic energy at point B. இந்த kinetic energy தான் ஸ்லோவா டிக்ரீஸ் ஆயிட்டு என்ன எனர்ஜியா கன்வெர்ட் ஆகுமா? potential energy. At maximum height, what about the velocity? 0. அப்ப அந்த இடத்துல என்ன எனர்ஜி டிஸப்பியர் ஆயிரும்? Kinetic energy becomes disappear. The disappeared kinetic energy converted into potential energy. So kinetic energy at point B will be equal to potential energy at point C. Kinetic energy formula half m plus m. Because of at point B we are having combined system. M plus m v square. What about potential energy at point C? M plus m g into h. Now we can cancel m plus m. To find out the h value, we can say r v square will be equal to, take the 2 value that side, 2gh, or v is equal to root over 2gh, or we can say h is equal to, h enna eludalama? Okay, first copy this one. H value inga eludren parunga. H is equal to, listen a minute, h is equal to v square by 2g. Already we got the expression for v square. This is the expression for v. Appa v square na enna varumba? Mu by m plus m the whole square into 1 by 2g. This is the expression for h. What is h? Maximum height travelled by the combined system. இங்க என்னென்ன ரூல் யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கோம்பா? law of conservation of momentum and conservation of energy. Conservation of energy means total energy remains constant, but one kind of energy can be converted into another kind. Means at point B la enna energy namakku initial irukuma? Kinetic energy. Point C la potential energy. I asked your book. Nothing, copy. Again your book in page number 265. Page number 265. Problem number 22. Simple question only. 265. Problem number 22. Okay. It is going to be embedded with a pendulum bob whose mass also m. Here we have considered totally two systems. Both system masses are same. That is called as m. After embedding process, that means perfectly inelastic collision, find the maximum height கேட்டிருக்காங்க. அப்ப find the maximum height கேட்டா என்ன பண்ணலாம்பா? Maximum height formula h is equal to m into u by m plus m the whole square 1 by 2g. In this problem, the block initial velocity u is given as v naught. Initial velocity of the block என்னன்னு provide பண்ணிருக்காங்க. அந்த ப்ராப்ளத்துல v naught னு provide பண்ணிருக்காங்க. The question is identify the h value. So h is equal to m v naught by m plus m is nothing but 2m the whole square into 1 by 2g. After cancelling m, what answer will come? V naught square by 4 into 1 by 2g. Answer V naught square by 8g. So answer is V naught square by 8g. So question number 22, page number 265. Answer A. Direct substitution. Right, the next problem. Two objects M1 and M2. Two objects with mass M1 and M2. Collide each other. Which are initially moving in same speed in opposite direction. Which are initially a small correction. Wait a minute. Two objects with masses M1, M2 collide each other in which U1 is equal to U, U2 is equal to 0. Small correction. Two objects with mass M1, M2 collide with each other If u1 is equal to u, u2 is equal to 0. That means first object alone moving initially, second object initially available at rest condition. After collision, they move with, after collision, they move with same velocity but in opposite direction. After collision, they move with same velocity but in opposite direction. Find m1 by m2 ratio. Find m1 by m2 ratio. I am repeating the entire question. Two objects with mass m1, m2 collide each other, in which u1 is equal to u and u2 is equal to 0. After collision, they move with same velocity but in opposite direction. Find m1 by m2 ratio. Condition is perfect elastic collision. Condition is perfect elastic collision. Our perfect elastic collision, E value will be equal to 1. What is E? Coefficient of restitution. Shall we start? Okay. So I am going to convert the entire question as a picture. m1, m2. u1 value is u. u2 is equal to 0. After collision, they will move in opposite direction. With velocity v1 is equal to v, v2 also v, but direction is opposite. The question is identification of m1 by m2. E is equal to 1 is the given condition. So we know very well for any type of collision we can use law of conservation of momentum. Okay, using law of conservation of momentum, frame the first equation. First equation in our m1 u, this momentum is 0 here. m1 v minus m2 v. Why we are writing minus pa? Since after collision second object moving in opposite direction, maybe இப்ப இத பாசிட்டிவா எடுத்தோம்னா இது என்னவா எடுத்தலாம் மைனஸ். அப்ப கொஞ்சம் மாத்தி எழுதிடலாம் m2v minus m1v. ஏன்னா நம்ம லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட் சைடு ஆப்போசிட் டைரக்ஷன், ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைடு பாசிட்டிவ் டைரக்ஷன் எடுத்துக்கலாம். ஸோ மைனஸ் m1v plus m2v. Here we can say m1u is equal to v into m2 minus m1. Can you say what is E? E na enadpa? Coefficient of restitution. Coefficient of restitution definition: v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. Here u1 is nothing but u. What about the v2 value? v2 value is v and v1 value is minus of minus v. Formula itself carries one minus. v1 is taken in negative direction, so plus v will come. So 2v by u, that is equal to 1. Why we are writing 1? Because of condition in coefficient of restitution, E value is 1 for perfect elastic collision. That is why the entire answer is equated with 1, from which we can say 2v is equal to u. Now using this result, substitute the value in the first equation. This is called as first equation. Substitute the 2v is equal to u formula in first equation and try to identify the m1 by m2 ratio. Answer is 1/3. So Monday onwards we will start a new chapter that is called as system of particles. Okay va? So as per your NCERT, system of particle will be available same volume 1 la da irukum. So before that, start that chapter, try to solve few more problems from collision. Okay va? So collision la konja problems work out panni paarenga. In yesterday's question paper alayum collision problem provide pannirpom. Because of Monday test ku enna portion ma Newton's laws of motion and work power energy collision. So first நேத்து கண்டக்ட் பண்ண டெஸ்ட்ல எதுவும் டவுட்ஸ் இருந்தா கோ த்ரூ பண்ணுங்க. ஓகேவா? So Monday cumulative test portion Newton's laws of motion and work power energy collision. Thank you students.
Super.
Okay.